Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. What a great crowd. Yeah. Awesome. So I'm going to, by request and also in honor of, I was there when Matthew DeCoster read for the first time. And it was really exciting. And so I'm going to read a couple of things that I read that night with him. One of them is by request. This is How to Land a Plane. And these are poems from my manuscript that is looking for a home. It's called How to Take a Bullet. And all of the poems in it have titles that have been ruthlessly appropriated from the worst case scenario survival handbook. This is How to Land a Plane. It's the small things that hold us. Handcuffs and leftover puzzle pieces. Names like fences that keep us home. Always the stories are about freedom. How to disentangle. How to unglue. You are a kite on a frayed string. You are breakfast every morning. You are the voice of your mother quietly unscrewing the light bulb. You are the dog barking at strangers and skateboards. The city still beats at the heart of you. But the music of longing is melancholy. How can this grasping gesture reconcile the notion of impermanence? The door is open and you can see the bright invitation of sun and sky. You are drawn to motion, like leaves unwinding the wind. Eventually, you will land somewhere. This is the specific one that Matthew asked for. This is how to detangle a bird caught in your hair. This is a very important lesson, you guys. First, you have to have a hair. This trend towards baldness negates the problem. Once you have grown a luscious mane, gather images on your lion tongue. Ripe peaches, sizzle of bacon, crisp campfire scent of an almost winter night, handful of rain, feathers or marbles, details of sunset, sand, and fast cars. Weave your materials carefully. Remember that birds like shiny things. The colors and flavors you choose may affect the type of bird that you can lure into your hair nest. It helps to know what you're looking for. The hummingbird is popular due to its size and general friendliness. The swan is elegant but angry. Loons, pelicans, and ostriches are obviously to be avoided. With patience, you will eventually find a bird snarled in your hair. It might not be the bird you initially had in mind, but give it some time. This one might surprise you. Protect your eyes and face as you attempt to pet the iridescent feathers of your albatross or owl. Avoid wearing a hat. In the event that you tire of this entanglement, the following options are available to you. 1. Tenderly cut the bird away, like a piece of gum from a child's hair. 2. Start a small fire on the back of your head and begin to run. From that same oddball chapter, we have how to perform a tracheotomy. The first thing you need to know is that the tracheotomy is an act of desperation and or violence that should only be committed when there is no other option. Some circumstances when it might be necessary to perform a tracheotomy. The victim is choking on a thin mint and is unresponsive to the Heimlich maneuver. The victim is your lover, and she has disappointed you by eating the last Girl Scout cookie. The victim wrote bitch on the side of your car with a Sharpie. The victim has an irritating high-pitched voice or a British accent. The victim is a stranger that fell in front of a bus wearing shoes you could never afford. What you will need: a razor blade, knife, scissors, or hammer. A straw, a pen, or a stale red vine. There will not be time for sterilization of your tools, so don't bother. Infection is the least of your worries. How to proceed. 1. Kneel over the victim and whisper, "Do you know what you've done to deserve this?" It's the most important step. 2. Move your finger down about 1 inch down the neck until you feel a bulge. 3. Seize the tool of your choosing and grasp it with both hands high above your head. 4. Aim for the bulge and be brave. 5. Insert the breathing straw into the bloody hole. 6. If you have done the procedure correctly, you should be able to remove the victim's shoes. Run away. You don't actually survive in the survival manual. This is how to leave a trail for rescuers if you are lost in the wilderness. Leave your fingernails behind in the dirt. Scatter clumps of hair in the breeze. A gently sliced Achilles will paint your footprints daintily. Let the wind take your clothes like an old song about endings. Lie back in your bed of leaves. Let the night insects bite and sting your naked flesh. Stay awake and wait for me. I'd fall for you, he said, if you were in trouble. I'm a sucker for a damsel in distress. The day turns burnt evening, then midnight. A navy blue forest appears. Glistening razors of moonlight slice through the lattice of leaves, silhouettes of wind damp with possibility. Your dress might flutter if it were a dress. Your fingers find the textures of trees, barefoot in moist earth, a guidebook in braille. Somewhere the sound of the river rolls over and over itself. How to survive when lost in the desert. In the crackling aftermath, become a liquid. When your lovers try to hold you, run blithely through their fingers, evaporate. The mirage will expand, pulled from crooked mouths against the stolen panoply of sky. Become content with the memory of your wetness on their hands and lips. All right, that's it for survival poems. I'm going to read you 2 newer ones. You're like, clap, don't clap, we don't know. All right, these are 2 that I've written recently. One that just was published by Jeff there, sitting there. And both of them were written for Saturday Night Special, the event that I host, which always has a theme, right? So the theme for this one was Wiggle, and the title is Wiggle Room. Because mosquitoes dress the night in terror, the bone of moaning, wrapped in gauze. Your sincerity has a strange wiggle, sultry hips twisting, soft as winter. You claim the mantis shrimp as your spirit animal, violent, yet resplendent in the dark. You wiggle till it bites, wiggle till it cuts. Memory tugs at the hem of you, like sparks of midnight, phosphorescence along the shore. This is your life, fading into the bottle. All that is precious is a fallacy of tone, a misunderstanding due to wind. You wrap your fingers around the reins. Late autumn light approaches at a slant, unfolding your distant reflection. All right, this is the last one. This is called Storm. The nightscape is a skillet of coffee shops, bone-split patterns of jagged light, a swarm of incorrect sky. Nor can the go that green gives be ignored. These flesh vessels, their slippery delights, your willful promiscuity. We are wet hair, soul-drenched, infused with liquor. We are the sound of rain on roof. Here is a uterus I just know you're going to love. Unyielding, purpling, the unraveling of the throat. In a storm that doubles as longing, how we flutter and thrust and ache. Gnaw at the angel's bloody hammer, strain against the rope in this garden of little letdowns, until at last we curl in sleep, like private animals, guardians of tenderness. Thanks.